Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I am the Red Baron and today we will be taking a look at the Fw-190 D13, which happens to be a 5.3 premium German fighter on the Gaijin store, which I believe is currently going for like $29.99 or something right now. So yes, before I go any farther, I'd just like to say, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that. Leave a like, hit the notification bell, and share this with your friends. Now let's get into the review. So as I said, it's a 5.3 battle rating German fighter, which means you will be fighting 6.3 jets at some point, and you will also be fighting 4.3 props and basically having your way with them. Yes, top speeds about 750 kilometers per hour. I've only reached that in a dive. Obviously, I've never gone up to 12,000 feet. Turn time is 21 seconds. Rate of climb is 17.1 meters a second, which is pretty darn good. This aircraft climbs super well, which is what you need to do. Here's the armor. You've got some armor here preventing the liquid cooling system from taking too much damage. Got some bulletproof glass that at its angle is pretty available for stopping bullets hitting your pilot. Got some ground protection from the AA. Not that that does anything because it's so thin. Got some steel plates behind the pilot to keep people from shooting him in the back of the head. And here's what the x-ray looks like. You got all the fuel in the middle, right underneath the pilot. Got your oil coolant system. Got the 20 mil down the prop hub. Got the other 20 mils. There's 3 of them with 740 rounds of ammunition between them. As I said, you got the liquid cooling system up front. Got some spars, and the engine's this Junker Umo 213 12-cylinder inline V, inverted V engine, liquid cooled. So yes. So we're now over France, and we're climbing out hard. This game is a rather small game. It is 6v6, which I actually thoroughly enjoy the 6v6, and I think it helped this aircraft a bit in this scenario, just because there weren't as many people to deal with. I could kind of single people out, deal with them 1v1. You'll see that Bf-109 over there. I kind of stick with him. As you can see, this thing's climb rate is fairly phenomenal. Obviously, we all got an air spawn. We all started like 400 kilometers per hour, but we did end up getting to altitude quite quickly. Things we were fighting this game, we had some F-8Fs, an F-4U, a Seafire, a Spitfire, an AM-1, and a B-24, which ended up not getting killed because our other Fw-190 D9 tech tree version wasn't able to kill him, which was kind of a bummer, because we could have won this game had he been able to kill him or even ram him. At that point of the game, I didn't care if he would have rammed him, but he ended up getting shot down, unfortunately. But just looking at the engines, got the nice flames coming out of the exhaust. That's a nice sunrise. That might become a thumbnail, actually. But as you can see, we're just passing like 4,000 meters almost. So start at about 1,000 or 500 meters, get up to about 4,000 within a couple minutes. I level off. I was wondering where everyone was. I didn't at this point know that it was a 6v6, and then I just all of a sudden look and there's 6v6. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of form up with the rest of the fighters who are like 2 or 3 kilometers away from me at the moment. I just sent him a little message that says, stick together. There's that B-24 I mentioned. I kind of say that me and the other Fw-190, because I believe the D9 is armed with a 30 mil, or is it not? I don't know. I haven't flown that plane in a while. I think mine's still stock. But it's very similar to this. The D12, D13, and the D9 are very similar, except they've got a little bit different gun layout of each other. But I figured because we're Fw-190s, we have a few more guns than the K4. K4 is more of a fighter breed, and we would go and take out this bomber before taking on the fighters. But then I realized how close that F8F was, and that F4U figured one 190 could take care of one B24. Apparently that wasn't the case. And I go and decide to help the 109 here. So he keeps going after the F8F. Had he known about the F4U, he could have possibly gotten a kill, but I end up coming in. He's already taken massive damage from the F8F. Oil leak. There comes the F4U. Fire some shots. Don't end up hitting it. F8F has tunnel vision right now and is locked onto that 109's rear end. F4U goes right in front of 320 mils, which promptly dispatch him. Thankfully, this F8F had tunnel vision so bad that he didn't just notice his buddy there get slaughtered above him, leaving me ready to go kill him. I raise the flaps and hit the web, and I come barreling through the clouds after him. I thought I might have hit something that caused him to go out of control, but he might have been trying to perform what I like to call the flying yeet, which is where you just hit every keybind ever and just watch the plane do what it wants to do. And it's a very, very effective way to get out of a person's line of sight and not getting shot. But he thinks he can outrun me. 109 tears ass after him. There'll be 2 Spitfires showing up soon too, which is nice. As you can see, he turns again right in front of me. Goes above the cannons. I go up. I was hoping not to get hit by the 109 because that would have been kind of silly. Go up. There comes that Spitfire I was telling you about. Come on down. 109 goes to base, and this guy just presents himself perfectly. Blow his tail off. Second kill of the game. There comes that Spitfire. There goes the 109. He's heading back to base. You see I've got a Seafire to about 2 o'clock high, and I've got a Spitfire coming in. Take the Spitfire head on. I know my center mounted guns will make it far more accurate than his wing mounted guns will. Seafire comes in, gives me a good clap. Ends up going to the right apparently as I go left. I'm like, where is this guy? There he is. My 21 turn second time comes in play because this thing has a 20-second turn time. He decides he's going to dunk out early and ends up getting killed for it. And so there's 3 kills very, very quickly. Or no, 4 kills very, very quickly. I killed all 4 of those guys. That were the 2 dudes who were on the 109 and the 2 who tried to kill me. And yeah, there's 1 guy left. So after flying for about 10 minutes or so, I ended up finding this AM1 over here who's trying to win the game. Can't let that happen. I've got about 105 rounds left of ammunition, which is pretty good. I mean, 740 rounds between 320 mils. That's a pretty good load. I mean, you're clapping a lot of cheeks, and you're also staying in that fight for quite a while. I mean, unlike say like the Yak 3P or something with only like 200 and some rounds of 20 mil. Obviously, those are good 20 mils, but they're not a lot of ammo. MG151s are good 20 mils and get a lot of ammo. So this dude pulls a hard left in front of me. I knew he was going to come up after me. I saw him go up after the JU-288 that just flew over. Knew he was going to try to. I don't really have to be too like cautious here. I was being a little cautious with my ammo, so I didn't fire, but I've got all day. There's only 2 people left, a B-24 that killed our D9 earlier, and this guy, so I can take my sweet old time. I've flown the AM1. I know how it acts. This guy's not flying it right, and he ends up getting killed there because of it. He stalled himself out, lost all of his energy, tries to shoot at me a little bit. Doesn't really work. So that's 5 kills, ace in a day. I'm going to be heading back to land, but I'm not going to let you watch that flight. So here's the landing. I'm spoiler alert, this was not the best landing. I mean, it was a good setup, but it was poorly executed once I was on the ground. Dropped the flaps, dropped the gear there. This thing, if you are new to flying, is a lot more nose heavy and very, very stilt-like in terms of landing gear. You have very, very tall landing gear. The nose sits very, very high. And so you have to be a little careful about braking and setting the tail down. As you can see, I put full elevator to get the tail down, wheel on the brakes, and end up doing a little bit of a nose flip there. I could have gotten the repair here, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get off the ground before the game ended because that AM1 had already done a little too much damage to our tickets, which is kind of a bummer. I would have liked to get 6 kills and gotten a 6 out of 6. That would have been pretty sweet. You know, literally kill the entire enemy team single-handedly. So, yeah. But that, unfortunately, wasn't able to happen. I was kind of looking at where I was going to be going next. But we failed. So, that's a bit of a bummer. I did get first place, though, with 5 kills. Here's the results. Got first place for the team, 5 kills. No deaths, very good. Got a bunch of awards, got a decal. First Strike, Ground Force Rescue Avenger, Shadow Strike, Double Strike, Triple Strike, Ground Force Rescuer, Survivor. I've never really gotten that one. Apparently you're supposed to kill like half the enemy team and still survive or something, single-handedly. That's a new one. Tear this guy. Yep. 5 kills. A couple critical hits. Ended up making like 85,000 silver lives. It is a premium though. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to grind out the rest of that. MiG-21, unfortunately. But no matter. There you go. That's how many people. I literally killed 5/6 of their team. So, and none of us on our team ended up getting a kill. I wouldn't say I was hogging them. I was kind of taking them as they presented themselves. I mean, I helped out a Bf-109, getting those 2 fighters off of him. He was appreciative of that. He had to leave because of engine issues. Obviously, you saw him smoking pretty heavily, and I ended up getting jumped by 2 Spitfires and ended up taking them out. And then the AM1, the 109 had already crash landed and wasn't able to get up. And so I ended up killing him. So I didn't hog them. I took them as they presented themselves. So if anyone's in the comments like, oh, you didn't share, it's like, I did what I kind of had to do at this moment. So, yeah, without further ado, I think I'm going to leave it here. And remember to like, subscribe, share this with friends, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Reds out.